Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
No way, I forgot to put up the starting screen. Completely forgot about that. What is up, people? Welcome back to the stream. Hope everyone is doing good. Like always, guys, if you haven't done already, make sure you do like and subscribe. It does really help out the channel. If you are enjoying the content, finding it useful, and make sure you do hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any uploads or streams in the future. But yeah, hope everyone is doing good, ready for another trading day. Anus, as always, what is up? Hope you're doing good. Renessus, what is up? Good morning. Peace. What is up? Welcome to the stream. Good morning. Canus, hope you're doing good. Good luck to you trading as well. So yeah, guys, few pairs I'm looking at. Nothing quite fitting the bill for a trade entry just yet for myself. I'm still nursing my dollar Swiss from last week. So I'm seeing how that one goes. I think we had some Swiss news. I had no idea. We had I think we had CHF interest rate decision this morning. It had medium impact on it, but so I didn't really take notice of it. But yeah, we had Swiss interest rate because the market was moving a little bit crazy for my dollar Swiss trade, and I checked across all Swiss pairs and they were kind of moving crazy. So yeah, we did have SNB interest rate decision today. Came out as the same as expected before. But yeah, we've got Bank of England interest rate decision at 12 as well at the end of the stream. So that should be interesting to see what happens with that. Expecting it to be raised. So we could be seeing some could be seeing some pound strength in a couple of hours. I'm not really focused on any pound pairs, maybe apart from pound USD. It's not really trading near my area of interest, so highly doubt I'll get anything with this pair. I'm looking at these higher lows to try and look for the next pullback for a long position. This was my area of interest. This was my area of interest coming into the week, and as you can see, the market didn't quite get there. It was very close yesterday on stream. We're very close there, but then we pulled up. And now we're looking at tad bullish here. So we'll see what happens with pound USD. I'm interested in the pair, but yeah, I'm not going to get a trade in, especially with the news coming out in 2 hours and we're nowhere near my area of interest, which lies down here as well. But in terms of direction, everything, I'm still pretty bullish for pound USD. Most dollar pairs, I'm looking at dollar weakness against them. Based on analysis on the DXY, but pound USD alone, all I'm seeing is higher highs, higher lows, higher time frame momentum that's good, monthly, weekly, dailies showing bullish momentum there as well. So the way it looks to me is that we could be seeing a push right back to where we came from, back into the highs. 1.285, we still do have that higher time frame level on the weekly, resting around 1.3. Could see a push into that over the next week or two. But yeah, anyway, pound USD looking pretty bullish, and Euro USD went into 1.1 as well. Sculpey TFX, what's up? Hope you're doing good. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Watch as always. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Danielle, why don't you use new method of trading ICT and SMC? Because I've already got a method that works. My goal is not to trade new methods because, like right now, ICT, SMC are fairly new. 10 years time, there's going to be another new method, maybe not even 10, maybe 5. there's going to be another new method and another new method. So I'm not going to keep switching every time there's a new method. That just doesn't make any sense at all. Again, my goal here as a trader is to make consistent gains from the market, not trade what everyone else is trading because it's popular at the moment. So yeah, well, my goal is that it doesn't really matter what methodology I'm trading, as long as I can trade it well, I understand it well. And again, I've got the most experience with my trading style. I've been trading it for a while. Doesn't really make sense for me to switch it up in one go. I do believe in having multiple trading strategies as well. So, I'll look into that, but I don't think I'll be looking at ICT and FSMC for an additional strategy. Martin, what is up? Hope you're doing good. Please check dollar Swiss. Okay, we'll take a look. No problem. Anus looking to buy pound USD today at 1.27444. Okay, we'll take a look. Are you trying to get in before the news or after the news? But we'll take a look. Frenesis, what is up? Your thoughts on US 30, we'll take a look as well. Georgie, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Mary, what is up? I'm doing good. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Wayne, I've started trading only CHOCH and break structure and working very well. Nice. Well, whatever working for you, that's the important thing. As long as you can understand it well, you test it, you've seen some good results, behind the scenes back testing, then all it's up to you is to, trade that in the live conditions under pressure and, alongside with your psychology as well. So that's the only important thing. As long as you can understand the strategy well, to apply it, it works as well. You can trade it. Yeah, that's the key. That's the key questions you want to have answered. But pound USD, and you said you're looking to. I'll go take a look at dollar Swiss in a moment. But pound USD, since we're on it already, you said you're looking for some longs at 1.27444. Okay, where is that? 1.27444. Okay, so that's back at the prior low-ish. So yeah, potentially could see that. I'm not too sure if we will see it before the news. Back into the support area here. I'm not too sure if we'll see that before the news. This is the 50-minute time frame. The news comes out at 12. We've got seven more 15-minute candles before that. So maybe the news could push it down, and then you could look for the entries after the news when things settles and take it to the upside from that. Because sometimes the news does do that. It pushes into certain areas and then it goes the other way. And sometimes those certain areas meet your confluences, meet your criteria for your strategy. You can take entries off the back of that. So potentially the news could push it down. I'm not too sure if we'll get there before the news and you get an entry signal before the news. So you're probably looking at after. But maybe the news can push it down to the upside. For me, I'm still very bullish on pound USD. Personally, I'm looking at buys here on the 4H. But it does look like we are shifting bullish here with this sort of inverse head and shoulder pattern. So it does look like the market is starting to print some higher lows and could be getting ready for the next leg back to 1.284. So I agree with this trade. This looks like a really nice opportunity. Higher time frames bullish, lower time frames bullish, starting to print some higher lows. But yeah, we probably are looking at a push into that level maybe after the news. But like I said, maybe the news could push it down and then the entries could form after. But we will see. But in terms of direction and the setup, I like it. We're seeing some good trending conditions here. So I do like the setup. Okay, so dollar Swiss, we'll take a look, and US 30 as well for Nessus, no problem. Zesty, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. I have a question. We'll fire away. Waiting for the news to take it there. If I get some confirmation, we'll enter. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Because there was little chance we're going to get there before the news, and if we do, it'll probably be just before as well. So it's kind of slightly bit more risk, especially on the lower time frames. But if the news can push us there, maybe some wicks taking out some low there, get some nice entry confirmation. Could be a decent little trade. There. So keep an eye on that. And I'll be keeping an eye too, just in case we break lower, because I do have some entry areas further down below. But pound, I'm looking at upside. Euro USD smacked into that level. We'll take a look at Euro soon. Let me just go take a look at dollar Swiss. Are you trading dollar Swiss, or are you looking to get entries in dollar Swiss? Martin, are you looking to get entries or are you trading it? Let me know. I'm still looking at a little bit more downside for pound USD, not pound USD, dollar Swiss. I've got pound USD on the brain. I'm still looking a bit more downside for dollar Swiss. We came back into the support level this morning, and that's when the news kicked in for dollar Swiss. We had a quite big reaction there, pushing to the upside. So I'm looking to see if you can go and break through this level and come and hit my TP just below it, 0.88900. Right now, market is respecting that level of support. We might see some upside from this. But yeah, it's getting a little bit choppy now. Prices getting a little bit choppy now for pound USD. Because we have been seeing really good bearish legs to down. I keep saying pound USD. For dollar Swiss, we keep seeing really nice bearish legs to the downside, clearing out, important lows. However, this time we saw some good momentum, but it depleted and it's respecting the support level. So it's a sign that the market's starting to run out of steam to the downside. Maybe could go through some consolidation or whatnot, but yeah, overall I'm still pretty bearish on pound USD. High time frames are still I keep saying pound USD. Why do I keep doing that? I'm still pretty bearish on USD CHF. The market is respecting some really nice support and resistance on the daily chart. Excuse me. Some really nice resistance on the daily charts. As you can see, support. Broke through resistance. So eventually I'm looking at a push back down to the lows here. So I still do see more downside in the higher time frames from a daily perspective, weekly perspective as well. Really nice rejection there too. But we'll see what happens, because we could start consolidating. This is some strong support, but nonetheless, I'm still hanging on to my position. I still anticipate more downside. Maybe we might pull back up again, retest some structure and then drop. We'll have to see. But yeah, dollar Swiss, I'm still looking at more downside back to 0.888 and maybe eventually 0.889 and maybe eventually 0.883 as well. But we will see. Right now, respecting some support. I think the CHF is quite weak across the board because of the news that just came out. But we'll see how that lasts. Okay, yeah, US 30, we'll take a look at that one next. What's up, Dissy? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing good. Can you take a look at Aiden's D? Of course, we'll take a look. Martin, looking for entry for upside. Yeah, I'm definitely very bearish on dollar Swiss, so I would not be looking for buys. I understand it's starting to respect support and seeing some good rejection there, but the market is still printing lower lows and lower highs. And yeah, I'm trying to flow structure rather than go against it. Not saying they can't go to the upside, it can. But yeah, I'm definitely very bearish and still looking to see if I can get additional shorts to this one. But now that we're starting to respect lows, it is definitely starting to put me off. But I'm still going to hang on to this position and see what happens with it. Either we take the full win or price goes back to my entry at break even. But yeah, we'll take a look at US 30 and AUDNZD next. Henry, what is up? Morning. Can you take a look at NZCAD and NZUSD? Of course, we'll take a look. Dancing with Wolves, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Zesty, if I enter trades in 50 minutes sometimes if I enter trades on the 15 sometimes on the 5-minute breaker structure, you don't know if it's a fake out. Do you wait for the hour candle to close below the level to see if it's valid? Well, the reality is you never quite know if a move is a fake out or not. You can adjust and look at it from an analytical perspective based on your analysis and say, okay, this is probably a fake out or maybe it's actually a breakout. So you always got to deal with probabilities. Technically, the higher the time frame, the more assured you can be it's actually a breakout. But even in the highest time frames, you have fake outs as well. So my advice to you would be, if you need to use the higher time frame, like the hourly, if you're working the lower time frames, it will be a benefit. You will obviously get less breakouts or you'll be exposed to less fake outs. So just using the hourly time frame can definitely mitigate against that. But yeah, in terms of just eradicating that possibility, you always will, have that situation where it might be a fake out or it might be a breakout. And and only hindsight will tell you the answer. So yes, the higher time frame hourly would work a lot better in terms of trying to make sure it's valid. Because of course, the lower the time frame, the more breakouts you're going to get, the more false breakouts you're going to get. But yeah, you're never fully going to know. So you just have to take it with a pinch of salt. And my advice, yes, will be use the higher time frame to help see if it's valid or not. Like for me, example, I use the daily time frame a lot to see breakouts and candle closes. That helps me with understanding if price is actually breaking through a level or not. But yeah, even the daily time frame does have fake outs as well. So yeah, you just got to take it with a pinch of salt. Wayne, do you use any indicators? How long has it been? How long has it taken you to learn to trade? I do use Fibonacci and I do use moving averages as well. Those are the indicators that I do use in my trading. To learn how to trade took me 3 years before I started seeing some consistency. But again, it depends for each person. Some people will be quicker, some people will be a lot slower. But yeah, it took me 3 years before I started seeing some consistency. But looking back, I could have done it a lot quicker. But at the same time, I did learn a lot, in that 3 years as well. So there is definitely benefits, so to speak, of taking longer. But yeah, looking back, if you're a bit more clinical in your direction, you can do a lot quicker anyway. But yeah, just because it took me 3 years doesn't necessarily have to mean it has to take you 3 years or someone else as well. You can do it in half the time. But anyway, so we'll take a look at US30 next. Okay, so US30 seen some downside. I was expecting US30 to hold at this level here. We had a really nice break to the upside above this daily and 4H level. So I was looking for us to hold this as support this week and see some more continuation. The market was printing all of these higher lows here, and we had some good confidence coming into that area. But as you can see, the market failed to hold that level and actually broke through. So US30 starting to look a little bit bearish. It's failing at these highs here. There's a lot of resistance up at these highs here, and now they're creeping back below the level. It's a sign that the buyers are starting to fail to continue that momentum to the upside. So US30, if we can see a bit more downside, fully break underneath this area, there could actually be some sells on the way back down again. This bullish structure has failed. We're back below 34 again. This will be now a solid level of resistance as it was previously on the left, as we can see here. Nice move down, nice move down. Possibly could see another push up, and again a nice move back to the downside. So once coming into the week was bullish, but now shifting to bearish since this structure is failing to hold, and now we're climbing back below 34 as well. So keep an eye on this area here. If you can come back and retest it, there could be some really nice shorts on the way back down again. High time frames are struggling to break through this area. So again, even with this example here, you can see the daily time frame broke above, saw some nice candles close above the level, but it's creeping back inside. So this is looking like potentially a big fake out. So yeah, even the higher time frames will give you fake outs as well. But yeah, US30 for me starting to look bearish, so I'm expecting a bit more downside. Low time frames pretty bearish as well, so you're looking at sells there too. Maybe not now because we're coming into some support on the left, but around 34, if you start stabbing into that level, start rejecting it, that's a decent place to start looking to short, anticipate more downside there. So yeah, hopefully that made sense for US30. Okay, so NZD CAD, NZD USD, AUD NZD, I'll take a look at next. Gold, David, we'll add that to the list, no problemo. Gaming scenario, what is up? Oil, we'll take a look. Do you ever exit your trade before your TP close to your TP? No. I normally let my price hit my TP. Sometimes I will exit before if I'm getting a lot of rejection at a particular level, but I wouldn't just close the trade because it's close to my TP. That's a bad habit that, yes, I have done many times in the past. But in the long run of things, if you've back tested your strategy and you can see what the returns are, if you keep closing close to your TP, sure, from a trade to trade basis, it won't have much difference in your results. But over a longer term, a few months, 6 months, a year, those small little, percentages that you miss out on could add up, extra 5%, extra 10% at the end of the year. So best thing to do is just let it hit your TP, which is difficult to hold to, especially when it's close and it's kind of flirting with your TP a little bit, and you're unsure if price will pull back against you, maybe hit your break even or stop loss or whatever. But that's just the friction you've got to go against as a trader. Okay, so I said I was going to take a look at AIDNSD and then NZD CAD and NZD USD. Okay, so AIDNSD, where are you? There you are. Okay, seeing some nice downside. So for this pair, I said I wasn't really interested in it because I don't want to buy it because it's coming into a very key level of resistance, and I don't want to sell it either because it was basically counter trend. But now the market looks like it's shifting direction. Why? Because we're starting to take out this prior low here, which is very, very important because we had this big pullback. Market tried to create some new highs, failed. Now taking out the lows again and seeing some new lows. So what I'm looking for AIDNSD now is if we can pull back and start creating some lower highs and start continuing this reversal to the downside. So sales are looking very, very good now. I just need to see some good lower high formation before I start looking for some trades. But we've got some equal highs up here. Market failed to continue the bullish move. Now we're taking out some structure. Lower highs do look good here. Now we can actually take a counter trend trade with a bit of backing to it. So yeah, I do like the shorts here with AIDNSD starting to brew up quite nicely. It would be nice if we can get pulled back and those lower highs start developing. Obviously, you don't want to short it right now. But if we can pull back, 1.09800 is looking like a pretty good level, as we can see there as well. And then we'll see what happens if that level can hold. But yeah, I'm starting to look for the reversal. It looks like we could be coming to action, taking out those lows. So let's see if we can find some low highs somewhere. And yeah, take some shorts to the downside. NZD CAD, NZD USD we'll take a look at next. Wayne, what is up? How did you learn? Did you get a mentor or self-taught? Well, my dad originally taught me how to trade, but yeah, most of it was kind of self-taught experience, but I definitely was taught all the fundamentals and the basics from my dad. What do you think of pound yen? I'm long 1808. Okay, we'll take a look at pound yen. It's taken me 5 and still learning. Yeah, some people will take a lot of time. Again, we're all on different paths, different journeys. Some people still haven't really seen much profit or success after 10 years, after a decade. So it's definitely depending on the person. But again, you said taking me 5 years and still learning. I'm still learning too. As well. I'm still learning as well. So the goal of trading is just to make sure you can get steady return. But at the end of the day, all kind of still trying to make ourselves a bit more efficient, better trader, or rounder trader. So it's a never-ending process, really. But anyway, so NZD CAD, we'll take a look at that one next. So NZD CAD, so yeah, we had some nice sells last week, I believe, or was it this week? 14th of June, that would be last week. So yeah, had some nice sells last week, retesting this structure here, prior low there, obviously pull back into that level, nice sell off to the downside. So right now, NZD CAD for me is the middle of nowhere. We've got the prior swing low down here. We've got the prior low high over there. We've had the break and retest of the prior low on the left, and this is where, shorts would look good. Now we've seen some nice downside, but now we're kind of just in the middle of nowhere. So there's not much for me to do here in terms of area of value, or even just a good place to buy the market or sell the market even. Sells, naturally speaking, if we come up there again, that could present a nice double top sell off there. Buy is very aggressive. You're kind of anticipating a higher low here, which is very, very aggressive against the counter trend, against the trend right now. So yeah, NZD CAD, I'm not really seeing anything on this one. Maybe on the lower time frames, if we break out the consolidation, you can probably ride some low time frame pullback. So if we break to the downside, catch the break and retest, some sells back into the prior low, continue this momentum to the downside. That does make some sense there. So you probably want to look at that on the hourly or maybe the 30-minute time frame, catch the break and retest. But obviously we need to break to the downside first, but in that way you can actually take advantage of the trend and probably have a safe stop loss on the retest as well. But other than that, I'm not really seeing much on the 4H. The only thing I'm seeing is if we come back to the highs on the lower time frames, you might get a bit more joy there on the retest. But at any point, I would not be looking for buys for this one at all. Only sells for NZD CAD. So yeah, that's my outlook on NZD CAD. NZD USD, we'll take a look at that one next. And then I'll look into Pound Yen as well. Sculpey TFX, parallel channel on 4H USD Okay, I don't think I've mapped that on my chart, so I'll go take a look. USDJPY Haroon will take a look too. Nathan, what is up? Have not looked at AUSD, we'll take a look. Universal Planets Group, welcome to the stream. I'm doing good, how are you? Morning Gareth, welcome to the stream. Welcome. UNSD, Sculpey TFX will take a look too. Great Designs, what is up? What we watching this morning? Personally, I'm just watching my trade in dollar Swiss. Keep an eye on Pound USD in case we have a big pullback for that one, but we're nowhere near my level of entry. But yeah, apart from that, not many pairs looking good this week for me, to be honest. Not many pairs this week. Great Designs, I just read that comment again. Gareth, what is up? Euro JPY long, okay, we'll take a look. Richard, what is up? Kindly analyze Euro JPY. Are we seeing the price to move higher? Likely to which level? Or looking for pullbacks to which level? Okay, we'll take a look. Yeah, with the yen pairs, price has been very bullish, so it's difficult with the yen pairs because there's kind of no concrete level to look at for retest, and if they are, they're very low down, especially with like pound yen, euro yen, Swiss yen as well. So yeah, we'll take a deep dive into the yen pairs too. Anes Miko, do you agree with ICT when he says the algorithm runs the market? I don't know, to be fair. I don't know. Maybe there is an algorithm. I don't know. I mean, I've read quite a few trading books by people who've been in the market for a very long time, and most of them pretty much just say that the market is completely random. Obviously, when it's affected by news, that kind of goes out the window a little bit, but the micro fluctuations of the market are random based on the push and pull from buyers and sellers. Thank you so much, Wan, for subscribing. But obviously ICT says that it's algorithm based. There's a methodology to it, which there might be. At the end of the day, I don't really care, to be honest. I don't really care. As long as I can pull profit from the market, I'm happy at the end of the day. If there's an algorithm, then cool. If there isn't, cool at the same time. I don't know, to be fair. I really don't know. I've listened to people who said there is. I've listened to people who said there isn't. It's kind of difficult to get a concrete answer, but I don't know. Maybe there is. Part of me believes there is, but at the end of the day, I'm here to trade. What's your opinion on it, Anis? What's your opinion? Do you think there is, or is it just completely random? Anyway, so what pair I was saying to take a look next? NZD. Okay, so NZD price is still pretty bullish here for NZD. Again, another dollar pair. I said there could be some nice shorts on this one this week if we start breaking through these lows, but we didn't. We respected it. Really nice aggressive wick rejection there on Tuesday, and since then the market's found its feet. It's now pushing up, so we could be seeing price just coming back to highs again. We've had this bullish trend in for the past couple of weeks. Market's starting to break shots to the upside. Did we get a retest of this level? Just about. Maybe missed it by a pip or so. But yeah, the market's breaking structure on the left, starting creating some higher highs and higher lows. So as things stand, NZD looks good for a push into 0.62300. I'm not too sure what we'll do up there. It's proven to be a good level. Maybe you break through, maybe you'll respect it. But yeah, for NZD, I think that the train has left the station. You want to be getting involved down here. If you haven't got involved down there, then either price can retrace there again, or you might just have to wait for a trade at a later date. So yeah, NZD for me, definitely bullish 4H, I'm not seeing much. Hourly might get a little bit more joy if you do get a pullback, on the low time frames if you do get another pullback. But as things stand with this bullish structure, I would be expecting price to go and smack its head in that level there, 0.62300. But yeah, unless you're already in the position, looks like the train might have already left the station there. So hopefully that made sense for ends the USD. We'll take a look at pound yen, euro yen next, and AUD USD. Okay, so pound yen, you said you're in a buy. I'm in a long from 1808. Let's see where that is. 1808. I'm saying that completely wrong. No, 180.87. Okay, 180.87. Okay, that's around here-ish. Okay, so you're on the lower time frames then. Not bad, not bad. I mean, price has come in your direction considerably. So looking good, looking healthy. Price is coming to some areas of resistance, not too far away. I wonder if that is your TP or maybe an area to start managing your trade. I suggest with this trade, you're probably looking to push back to the highs there, as maybe your end goal, probably, if not that level. But yeah, I mean, like I've been saying with pound yen and all the yen pairs, with all this considerable momentum to the upside, with the higher time frames showing all this momentum as well, you want to be taking advantage of the buys here, even if it's not particularly clear. Just buying the market gives you a good odds of winning the trade, because that's literally what the market is doing. Taking sales in these conditions, it was always going to be very, very difficult. Not that you can't be profitable, but you're going to have to be conservative with your TP and not try and push the trade too far. But from a buy standpoint, from a bullish standpoint, looking good. Price looking likely to go and hit that level just above it there. We'll see if we can get back to highs as well. But yeah, as I flick through the higher time frames for pound yen, what I'm seeing is a lot of bullish momentum. So the odds are price is likely to go and take out the high. So yeah, looking good. Hopefully price can continue in your favor. I'll take a look at euro yen since we're on the yen pairs at the moment. So yeah, euro yen clearing the... Okay, so euro yen's broken through the resistance. Okay, so this is not a bad pullback now. I was talking about this one yesterday for euro yen on the stream. I said euro yen to the downside. The only key level I'm seeing which looks good to buy for my personal trading would be all the way down here. And I'm not expecting the market to get there anytime soon unless something crazy happens. So on the lower time frames, the breaking test of this high is looking pretty good. You can see a confident break there with that 4H candle. Haven't got the retest of that level either. So it's looking pretty good around 155.295. Looking for some pullbacks into this area, trying to catch the next high low. We've got one over there, print the next one, and look for the drive either back to the highs or maybe some higher highs. And again, with targets with euro yen, it's not particularly too clear because we're clearing some considerable levels in the higher time frames. This is the monthly chart, by the way, and the next kind of key level we've got, is price coming back to some of these areas here, 160, 165. We're breaking through a very considerable high here on the left. So the way I see it, there's no obvious level to target for euro yen. So if I do get into any positions for euro yen, my targets would be the prior high. So if the market does pull back, it would be the prior high that I target. Or if you want to stretch it a little bit further, then maybe the psychological levels on the right, 156.5, 157, 157.5. Those psychological levels could be a nice point of reference to target. But it's difficult because we're kind of in territory we haven't been in for a long, long time. So the targets aren't too clear. But for example, if you do pull back here and get the retest of this level at 155.300, a simple target is just back to the high we pull back from. If you pull back from here, then that could be a nice high to target, take your profit. If you want to leave some to trickle just in case the market just keeps trending, then you can do that and use a trading stop loss to exit that position if the market pulls back too heavily. But in terms of concrete targets, it's difficult because we haven't been at these prices for a long time. But in terms of direction, everything, that's kind of what I'm looking at for euro yen. AUD, we'll take a look at that one next. So we'll take a look at another dollar pair. So yeah, AUD getting some considerable wicks on the daily time frame. I was looking at this one on the daily time frame before I came onto the stream. I'm seeing a lot of wicks here. So again, the way I'm interpreting the data here for AUD is that we've got this range, high low there. Market broke to the downside of the range, turned out to be a big fake out, climbed back inside the range, climbed to the other side, broke to the upside, and now it looks like it could just be retesting it with all these wicks. So if that's the case, we could be looking at another push to the upside for AU and a push back into the level there at just underneath 0.69. So the way I see AUSD right now, the wicks here displaying a lot of inability on the daily time frame, trying to penetrate that level, failing to do so. Naturally speaking, you would expect the market to kick back bullish again. So buys do look good, but I wouldn't buy it right now. If we can clear the resistance here, because this is looking like consolidation here, if you can break through that, pull back onto the retest of that level, looks like a good buy. Maybe on the hourly, risk to reward looks pretty good as well. We were calculating the range between the level and the high. We've got about 90, 100 pips there to work with. So risk to reward should be pretty good in the hourly time frame. But yeah, AUSD, it looks like we could be getting a push back to 0.69. I'm still pretty bearish on the dollar on the DXY. DXY still looks like it's got a bit of downside to it. And yeah, AU is looking like it's got some upside to it. So as long as we don't snap this level on the daily chart, as long as we don't see a confident break underneath, then yeah, I'm expecting upside for AU. Let me know what you guys are looking at. US to JPY, we'll take a look at that one as well. Euro NZD, we'll take a look too. Great Designs market be burning this week. Lots of consolidation going on. Yeah, I mean last week we had a lot of news, so price was moving a lot. This week we do have some news as well. We do have some news, but just not as much as last week. But yeah, I mean I've only taken one trade this week so far. One trade this week so far on Euro Pound, which was a small win, and also I still got my dollar Swiss from last week. Dance with Wolves, is your daddy trade as well? Is your daddy? Yeah, he trades as well. Georgie, AUC, yeah, we just did the AU. AUJPY, we'll add that to the list. So I'll take a look at USJPY, UNZD, and AUJPY as well. Game scenario, what is the one top thing that helped you become profitable? Again, it's a good question, but it's difficult to suggest just one thing. Because there's so many different aspects to trading profitably. I would say a big thing helped me was just start journaling properly. I was very, very half-hearted with journaling for a long time. Like I knew we should journal, but I was kind of just half-hearted. I sometimes journal, then I wouldn't journal. And if I did journal, I didn't revisit them. I wasn't really going through my mistakes. When I wasn't doing too well, I didn't write it down. So yeah, I didn't really do it well. But when I started to really journal with went full out journaling, that's when I started to see a lot of improvement in my trading. It wasn't the one thing, but it was a big help. And when I mean journaling, I mean, tracking your trades, tracking your results, tracking everything, all the metrics, also tracking your mental state, how your thought process about taking trades, also journaling, what part of your strategy is working well, what is not working too well, focusing on the things that are working well, disregarding things that aren't. So yeah, just really in-depth journaling. Anything that you think you should journal it. There's not one thing of journaling too much. So yeah, really excessive journaling definitely helped me a lot. Danielle, Miko, why didn't you show your portfolio? Well, my portfolio is my portfolio. Unless you're going to invest in it, mate, then you don't need to see my portfolio. I mean, to be fair, I might do like an end of year recap of my trading. To show people 1 year of trading, but yeah, unless you're gonna invest, yeah, you don't need to see it, Danielle. Dance with Wolves, one thing that helps become profitable is stop taking random trades. Yeah, 100%. I mean, taking random trades is just never a good idea. But having a good system, working on that system, developing that system, making sure that you can trade that system well in the live conditions, obviously is going to give you a path to follow that will lead to profitability. All you have to do is follow it. Yeah, I'm determined to get there. I often look at strategy, but find myself always changing. So yeah, I mean the key thing is not necessarily the strategy you're trading. It's staying consistent with that same strategy. Because if you keep chopping between strategy to strategy, then you won't see consistency. Because whenever you go through a good spell, you'll be like, yeah, okay, this strategy is good. Let me just keep seeing this through. Then you'll go through a bad spell, and then you lose your level headedness, and you'll probably look to change strategy. And I've done that cycle many times, many times, only to go back and use strategies that I started off with. So yeah, the key thing is to do is stick with strategy, even if it's not a great strategy. You know, the way I see it, all strategies are profitable as long as you tested it as well. But pretty much all strategies are profitable. But each strategy is going to have its down periods, its good periods. You know, as a trader, you need to be able to see out those good periods and down periods. That's literally what trading is. If you can't see out the down periods, you will switch strategy, and then you'll go through another down period and switch strategy again, and it'll just be that cycle. You have to stick out that down period, which is difficult to do because there's always that thought in your head that says this down period won't end, so you need to change, but you need to go against that. But anyway, so I'll take a look at USD JPY, USD as well. So USD JPY, I'm still pretty bullish on this one. I'm not seeing entry levels anymore. I'm not liking how price is consolidating at this level here. It's not really doing that for me. Coming into the week, it was good because you had this big bullish move. Price was trending, so I was looking to see, okay, let's get that retracement and a continuation. But we didn't get that. The market's kind of just consolidating in this area here, in the middle of nowhere. Well, testing some resistance on the left, but I'm not looking to sell. So USD JPY, I'm still pretty bullish on. If you are looking for buys, then 141 and 145 look okay. It's not quite doing it for me though. I'm not liking how price is retracing, so I'll be staying away from this one, but it might be good enough to get a bounce from. But in terms of direction, USD JPY is still bullish, higher time frame still bullish as well. So I'm still looking to buy this pair. I'm still looking to buy. I just need to find a good setup first to actually buy it, of course. But yeah, all I'm seeing is consistent higher lows. So in terms of direction, it's pretty self-explanatory to me for USD JPY. Again, USD JPY is one of the JPY pairs which hasn't been so bullish, obviously, because dollar's been quite weak. But if you look at Swiss yen, pound yen, CAD yen, euro yen, those pairs have been flying. But dollar yen, not so much. But yeah, the buys are still there. Keep an eye on the break me test, but I'm not expecting anything too crazy from this market anymore. We'll take a look at USD next. Yeah, USD, did I have a loss in this one? Yeah, I did have a loss in this one. This one was for last week. So yeah, I did take a loss from this one last week. Price broke to the upside, trying to look for price to roll over, but it failed. And now price is back at that resistance. So this one's a bit tricky. I'm staying away from USD at the moment. I did say there could be some nice buys coming into the week. Retesting this structure down here. Didn't quite see enough retracement to get there. Had some good confluence around there, but the market's kind of just consolidating right now. We might still see that upside there. We might still see the upside in the breaking me test of 1.76259. But it's getting very choppy now. It's getting very choppy. I don't like the fact that we're just starting to consolidate here as well. So yeah, I would lean to the buy side of things because it looks like the market has broken out this channel here, and we could be seeing continuation. But now the market's losing that momentum, so I wouldn't want to follow that. The best breakouts is where we see a lot of momentum, get those sharp retracements, and then take that momentum as well. If the momentum starts to consolidate, it means that momentum that we once had is lost. So yeah, it's not the best buy, but I would be bullish on this one. Look for push back to the high. So keep an eye on 1.76254. But similar to USD JPY, this is starting to consolidate as well. So I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this at all. AUD JPY, we'll take a look at that one next as well. But I want out the 9 to 5 jobs and pay my debts and live financial freedom. and invest in myself, have multiple incomes. Isn't that the dream? Again, trading can definitely do that. But yeah, you just need a lot of dedication, and you can get that. I fully believe that anyone can be a trader. I don't think anyone can be a trader instantly, obviously, but I think anyone can learn the skill. The skill itself, technical analysis, isn't that hard to learn. But there has to be a lot of self-introspection and a lot of self-awareness, which a lot of people don't have, but you can learn that. Good man, keep at it. Once you have a trading plan, you must stick to it even through the losing streaks. Yeah, that's the hardest bit. That is the hardest bit of trading. Sticking through your trading plan, keep level-headed, manage your risk through the losing streaks. Because losing streak is when you're doubtful. Because losing streak represents there's something wrong, but there isn't actually. It's just a part of your trading. Because if you have winning streaks, that means you must have losing streaks. There must be a balance to it. Dance with rules, COT data indicates that big players are short against the USD. I think 0.63, there might come crazed impulsive moves downwards. But yeah, I mean, I do like the bearish structure for the USD because we did have this big impulse correction. So I'm still technically bearish from that standpoint. But I'm not looking to short NZD because we've seen this sluggish uptrend kind of continue for a while now. So I'm not trying to short this high and try and anticipate that reversal. I want to see price break structure to the downside, start giving me some lower highs to work with. Then I'll look to short NZD. But I do agree with you in terms of the higher time frames being bearish. Obviously, COT data is showing that downside and the technicals kind of agreeing. But at the moment, we're kind of just seeing a lot of intraday and intra-week bullish momentum, which looks like it's likely to continue, probably at least back to the high there. And then we'll see what happens. But maybe it does get to 0.63 and roll over. But at the moment, I'm looking at some more intra-week upside. Agree, can't win them all, but goal is to be profit more than losses. I had 3 wins on Euro Pound this morning on Scalp 50 minute. Nice, okay, you're a scalper, interesting. Never really took into scalping, but of course, scalping is can be a very, very good method if you know how to use it properly. In and out the market, and then you're done for the day. Hayden, what's up? How many pairs do you watch per week? I normally have roughly 5 to 8 pairs I'm looking at. I normally have a watch list of around 5 pairs, but sometimes I will chop and change with a few other pairs if the pairs I'm looking at not doing what I want them to do. But overall, I do look about 20, 27, 28 pairs. But for the week, I do create a watch list during the weekend and normally focus on around 5 to 8. Phronesis, your AD, we'll take a look as well. Yep, AJ, well, we'll take a look too. Do you limit yourself to select amount of pairs or any that look good? Yeah, of course. I create a watch list every weekend. So I know what markets I'm looking to trade for the week ahead. But yeah, because there's no point of me looking at a market which is just not give me the conditions that I want. Yeah, so it was a waste of time. So I identify that on the weekend for the week ahead, and yeah, create a watch list for that. The Simpsons did it again about the submarine. Oh, really? Did they? I mean, the Simpsons got so many episodes that they've probably done so many things that it's just a matter of time before something like that happens in real life. I bought UC Not yesterday, Poppy, and then I shorted it down. I took profits last night. I thought it would go down more. Okay, we'll take a look at UC Not. Did it hit that daily level we were discussing about yesterday? Yeah, AU does look bearish on the weekly. AU does look bearish on high time frames. But at the moment, we're having a nice break and we tested the level. So it might just go and hit that resistance and then roll over. But yeah, I definitely do agree with you. It does look bearish on the weekly. Anus, about the algorithms, I saw some old videos. Some traders working on a hedge fund. They were programming bots based on maths. It was in 2006, I guess. I think it's now more advanced. We'll send you the video later. Okay. I want to see it, but you said doesn't mean too much since you make money. Of course. I mean, I think with the bots thing, because you can make a trading bots based on obviously maths, but it's always going to be done on probability. For an algorithm to exist, that means you should be able to, if you know the algorithm, of course, you should be able to predict 100% of the time where the market is going if you know what the algorithm is. Because if there is an algorithm, that means there's going to be an input and an output. So if you know what the input is, you should know what the output is as well. So to imply there's an algorithm, that means someone's got to know where the market's going to go at pretty much all points. But a bot just has to be right in terms of probability. So it doesn't necessarily mean there's an algorithm, because if bot's successful, it just means that they know from a statistical perspective that the market's likely to do X when Y happens, if that makes sense. But there might be an algorithm, but it's not really none of our concern at the end of the day. Poppy getting that nice run and not taking profit is still paying on my mind too much. It's difficult. But that's what trading is. Trading is that mental battle. It's that mental battle consistently. That's all it is. Because trading itself, taking a sell, taking a buy, we're not Einstein over here. But you do have to be very resilient though. What's up, Forex? What's pay the bills? Hope you're doing good. UAD, okay, we'll take a look as well. Isaac, good morning, welcome to the stream. Yep, a few people requesting ADJPY, we'll take a look. GP, no problem. Can you recommend a mindset book for me? A good one would be Best Loser Wins, which I was talking about yesterday. Best Loser Wins is a good one for mindset. Trading the Zone is good, but it mainly focuses on probabilities, and it does help with mindset, of course, but I think best loser win is more about mindset and more about yourself as a trader and understanding yourself. But both of them are good books, to be fair, so get them both. Anyway, so let me go take a look at AUDJPY, EURUD. So AJPY, EURUD. I probably have missed out some pairs, to be fair. I think someone requested dollar Swiss as well, so I will take a look at that, and USD NOK too. Okay, so we'll take a look at AJPY first, since a lot of people are requesting it. Okay, there we go. Couldn't find the pair for a second. Okay, so AJPY is still looking overly bullish. I'm still looking for a push back to the prior highs here. This is where I'm looking for us to return eventually. The market is still giving us consistent momentum on higher time frames. You can see a weekly driving to the upside, monthly displaying a lot of momentum, even though this candle hasn't closed yet, which will be an important candle. But from a weekly, daily standpoint, we're still seeing a lot of momentum, and daily we're starting to hold on to a very key level of resistance. On the 4H, there isn't really a key level around because the 4H time frame, the last kind of key resistance was back down here, which is a long way away from price. So I'm not looking at 4H levels. I have to drop to the higher time frame to find some key levels we can look at, which we do have one over here, as we can see. Did not mean to do that. Resistance there as well. Some really nice down moves here. Now the market's going to hold this as support, well, attempting to at least. So as things stand, it looks like we could be printing another higher low for ADJPY. I'm still very bullish on this one, so buys in this area do look pretty good. Not really a trade that I'll go for because it lacks some other confluences, but in terms of the direction and the trend, this one's looking pretty clear. Bullish all around, looking for a push at least back to the prior highs on the left. And then we've got the weekly highs there at 98,500 as well. So ADJPY buys look very good to me. So yeah, expecting more upside as I am for most yen pairs, to be honest. So yeah, hopefully that made sense on the AUDJPY. We'll take a look at Euro AUD next. So this one, I'm still looking for some big sales. You can see the daily time frame looking pretty neat and tidy. You've got this low down here, lower high, lower low. So again, I'm looking for a lower high to start developing around here for another move back down. I'm kind of just getting ready for that lower high to form. I did say I'm looking at a few areas, this being one, which the market has broken through. We might push a little bit high into this area here, around 1.63, 1.635. But yeah, I'm looking at that lower high forming. So I'm keeping an eye on UAUD. I'm getting ready to see if we can come to some key areas, give us some break structure, and then start selling off. But essentially, I'm looking for us to return back to this support level down here at 1.59. So I'm just getting ready for a good short. At the moment, price is still quite bullish for me. It's not really testing a key area anymore. It's trading slightly above one of my key levels, and we got some good confluence up there around 1.63, 1.635. So I would hope price could probably push a little bit higher, keep this trend going a little bit longer, and then get the sales later on. That would be a very, very nice setup. But yeah, in terms of direction, looking at sales, we've had a really impressive bearish leg here to the downside. Now I'm looking at this being our pullback, so expecting another move back down into the lows and maybe further as well. So I do like the setup with UAD. I like the low lows and low highs, all looking pretty good. Just need to wait for a good setup and some good entries to get involved. But yeah, the way I see it, I'm looking at sales. Okay, so we'll take a look at Euro Pound. We'll take a look at Euro Pound. Wayne Armstrong requested that one. What else did I say I was going to look at? Completely forgot. Yeah, my mind's all over the shop because I'm trying to read the messages and then go back to previous messages at the same time, which is proving to be really difficult, but we'll get through it. So yeah, I'll take a look at Euro Pound. If I have missed out a pair, just let me know in the chat again. So just type it again. But yeah, we'll take a look at Euro Pound next. How much percentage do you risk on trades? Do you do more on high probability setups or always the same? Yeah, for me, it's always the same. It's always the same. I don't really do the high probability thing. I just try to keep my trades all high probability, as much as possible. So I try to make sure I'm just taking the best setups I can find. So I don't really do the high probability thing. Some people, take, different types of trades, some lower, some higher, and they risk more. Risk more on the higher and risk not as much on the lower. But for me, the way I look at it is just, why not just take the high setups? But yeah, I keep my risk the same. I risk 1% per position, and I keep that the same throughout all my trades. Haroon, did you look at USD? I think did I look at USD? Yeah, I did look at USD. If you go back a couple pairs, you'll probably see it. I often look at trading like running a business. You will have outgoings and bad months, but continue to work through them. As you know, it will eventually turn around. Exactly. That's the only way really to look at trading, to be fair, if you want to be in it for the long run. But again, the average beginner trader who starts trading, is not really focused on looking at trading like that, which is why people got to go through that process to bring them full circle, bring them back around to actually treating trading like a business. Because the average person coming into the markets will be thinking, okay, I've seen these guys driving Lamborghinis. I'm looking at them, managing 1 million in capital. Let me see if I can do that, learn a few tricks for this technical analysis thing, and hey presto, should be there as well. So that everyone kind of has that kind of get rich quick mentality, which is why it's very difficult to treat trading like a business and look for slow, sustained growth, because it's the complete opposite of what they've been told. So it's difficult to go from that to try and treat it slow and try to treat it like a business with outgoings and incomings. But yeah, that's for me is the only way to look at trading like a business, because it is one. Okay, so let me go take a look at Euro Pound. So yeah, Euro Pound, this one's looking a bit choppy. I was looking at some sells this week. Had a position over here, caught a nice break and retest to the downside. The news for Pound USD actually helped me with this trade. The news for Pound USD helped me because it was the news that pushed it down and the news that took it up again. So sometimes the market does that, which is why I say sometimes you can't, really be safe going both ways, because sometimes the market will wick out people in both directions before it picks a direction to go. But yeah, I was looking for a push into the support level, and then that's when I went to break even. And I was also looking at 0.85 down here as well, which was my extended target down to this level, but I didn't quite make it in the end. So closed out at a partial win. But since then, it's actually broken through the structure and broken through that level there too. So we might be seeing some buys creep in here for Euro Pound. I'm going to retest the 0.858. Not really a trade that I'm looking to take, but a probable one, because this bearish channel looks like it's met its match. Breaking to the upside, if you can start holding that previous resistance as support, see some good wicks there, that could be a nice retest of the trend line and the support level for push to the upside. Now, the market for me is still quite bearish, even though we are breaking out this channel. You can see we've been falling to the downside for a while, so I wouldn't be too overly confident with the TPs for the buys. I think just to push back to that high there makes a lot of sense. But I am still bearish overall on Euro Pound. I think we might see a bigger pullback to head lower. So I'm not really looking at the buys at the moment, but from an intra-week perspective, maybe next week, or we'll see, because we do have pound news actually in an hour from now. So it depends what happens with that. We might push into the level, then push up, or do the opposite. But anyway, this is looking like a decent setup there for Euro Pound, around 0.858 on the retest of that level. Let me know what you're looking at that pair as well. Okay, so USD NOK, we'll go take a look at that one. Poppy said you caught some sells on that pair, so we'll take a look, see. GJ, how is it? That one's still pretty bullish. We'll take a look at pound yen as well. No problem, Dizzy, happy to help. Euro USD, we haven't looked at Euro USD yet, so we'll take a look, Leo, no problemo. Gold, yeah, that was a pair I was supposed to take a look at, but I completely forgot. So yeah, we'll take a look. Felix, no problem. Nasdaq, yeah, we'll take a look at some indices too. Mighty King, what's up? Let's say there's a trade open and news is coming up. Do you close this trade or leave it open? No, I'll leave it open. Again, for me as a technical trader, the way I see news is just a catalyst. It just gets the market moving. But if I'm in a trade, I wouldn't close it because there's news, because as a swing trader, intra-week trader, it's difficult me to tiptoe around the news. Day traders, scalpers, they can tiptoe around that a lot easier. But for me, who, my average win is like 2-3 days. So it's difficult to dodge the news. So if there's news coming out, I still hold through the news. On the low time frames, you might want to think about that, because spread does widen and you could get wicked out quite easily depending on your stop loss as well. But for me, I normally have bigger stop losses, I have bigger targets, so I can sit through the news relatively fine. Obviously, sometimes it does stop me out, sometimes it does boost to my TB, like last week with dollar Swiss. But yeah, I do hold throughout the news. But if there's news about to come out in like an hour or two, I wouldn't enter, especially for a big one as well. Anyway, so let's see what's cooking with USD NOK. So last time we looked at this one, it was testing some resistance yesterday. Okay, really nice sell off from that level. So yeah, price came back into that level around 10.8, and this was a dodgy level because price was hanging on to it for dear life as resistance before we had the big breakout. And originally I was expecting price to hold this as support and look for the continuation of the uptrend, but we failed. We cracked below the level. So since then we've came back for a really nice retest, and now we've sold off and seen some nice downside. So yeah, price is looking pretty bearish, Poppy. Price is looking pretty bearish. Looks like we're coming back into this support level here, which if we break, the next kind of key level is back down here, 10.3. So I wouldn't say there's much to do now with USD NOK. Sells up there looking good. Now the price is smacking its head, coming into the support level here. It's difficult to look for any positions. I wouldn't buy. I said yesterday, the only way I would buy this is if we can get back above this level here, because the fact that we cracked it with ease is now looking like we might be going through a counter trend play or maybe a reversal, especially after taking out major highs here on the left. We haven't taken out that high there yet. But we might see some counter trend price action here. So I wouldn't want to be looking for buys just yet. But at the moment, we're at support. We might see a slight move up, might even see consolidation, but could be looking at a push into 10.3. And then maybe from there we might find some more buys again. But yeah, there's not really much to do. But congrats on the sell though. Nice trade to the downside. Okay, so pound yen, we'll take a look at that one next as well. And Euro USD too. Haven't looked at Euro on the stream yet. And gold and NAS. Euro CAD, we'll take a look. Game scenario, no problem. And it's not interested in GU anymore. Okay, we just surpassed my target, but we'll see how it develop after the news. Okay, is pound strong or is dollar weak at the moment? Pound is pushing to the upside. What's Euro doing? Euro's looking fairly bullish. AU's looking pretty bullish as well. DXY is falling. So yeah, it looks like we are seeing some dollar weakness, but we'll see what pound does with the news. But yeah, I mean, again, if the trade's invalidated, it's invalidated. But yeah, maybe there could be some new setups to form after the news. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe the news just pushes price to the upside and just smacks into the resistance and keeps going. And maybe there is no setup, but we will see. We got the news in about 50 minutes time. But I would expect to see some strength for pound. But the last couple times we had the interest rate and we had it on stream, there was one over here, which price fell. I don't know if that was NFP. No, this was the interest rate decision. Big move to the downside down Thursday. And then we had another one, which was, I can't remember. I remember we had it on stream as well. I don't know why. I can remember that one a lot, but I can't remember the other one. But yeah, I think the last two times we had interest rate for pound, they both fell, which was interesting. But yeah, from a technical standpoint, I'm definitely very bullish on pound. So I'm still looking at my buys down here at 1.267. We'll see if we get that. But yeah, still definitely bullish on pound USD. Okay, so we'll take a look at pound yen, Euro USD, Euro CAD, and gold next. Gareth, what's up? At what point do you move stop loss to break even? When it hits my first target, which is normally around 1.5 R, is a nice little soft spot for me to move my stop loss to break even. I've experimented 1 to 1. Maybe my stop loss to break even after 1 to 1 is a little bit too aggressive for me. 1 to 2 is a little bit too passive. So 1 to 1.5 around there is a nice soft spot I've found to move my stop loss to break even. I still do get times where I do get stopped out of break even and price moves my favor, but it has a good balance of both worlds. So yeah, 1.5 R is normally around there when I move my stop loss to break even, but it does depend on the setup though. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. But again, I always heavily suggest to go and experiment for yourself as well, because you might find you have more success with 1 to 1 or 1 to 2 or whatever it might be. Poppy, I'm really frustrated. I swing traded it really well yesterday. I basically wasted my good head start. I took profits too early, indecisive bad trading. Yep. We've all been there. Poppy. We've all been there. I think the worst thing about it is when it happens and then you get angry at yourself that you did it. Not necessarily the profits that you lost out on. It's more the fact that you did it and you know you shouldn't have done it. But yeah, I mean, trust me, that's the hard bit about trading. That's the hard bit about trading. You know, having that plan, having that management plan as well, and then sticking to it. That's the hard bit about it. And yeah, the best way to overcome that, I feel like, is making the mistakes like you've done now, making the mistakes, and then most importantly, learning from that mistake, knowing that exiting early, trying to take profits too early is long-term not having a good impact on your trading. Obviously, we've seen the outcome short-term because the trade went on, but sometimes it doesn't have to go on. Sometimes you take profits early and then you were right. Price didn't keep going in your favor. But again, that's a even worse habit to fall in, because that actually validates you taking profits too early. So yeah, the best advice I have is just learn from this mistake, learn from the mistakes. And that's really where the progression is in trading, which is why earlier I said journaling was one of the biggest things that helped me improve my trading tenfold, because it made me aware of my mistakes, and then it made me understand where I need to improve. And once I did the improvement, it was only a matter of time before you start seeing some good results. But being aware of it is one thing, and then being able to correct it, that's the second thing, which is the most important thing. Okay, so we'll take a look at Euro USD next. So yeah, Euro's still pretty bullish. It's trading around 1.1. So this was the level I was talking about on my weekly analysis coming into the week. We're looking for a push back into the resistance here. As you can see, we're now trading at that level. So Euro, for me, there's not much to do now. Some people will naturally be looking at sells coming into this zone here. Fair enough, does make sense. But as a trend follower, as a trend, as a swing trade, I'm looking to follow the trend of things. So I am not looking for sells at all. And at the same time, I'm not looking for buys either, because I don't want to be buying into this level. The buys were definitely further down here. Now the train has definitely left the station, and it's arriving at a different station at the moment. So the way I see Euro USD is there could be some nice reversal setups here. So if the market starts fading at the highs here, maybe starts creating some breaker structure, some lower highs, there might be some nice sells to take it back down again. Or we might just see the market crack the level and keep going bullish. Because again, on the higher time frames, we do have these higher lows here. So the market is having a slight uptrend, and maybe it might want to break through. DXY, the way I see it, still has some mileage to the downside as well. I'm looking at DXY coming back to this support. So the way I see it, dollar still's got a bit of a way to go. So if dollar's going to fall, this much, as long as Euro doesn't do anything crazy, it probably means that Euro USD is going to do the exact same to the upside, which could land us at breaking the highs here on the left and possibly seeing some new highs above that. Maybe continuing this kind of weird channel that we've got going on there. Maybe nearing around 1.11 or 1.12 up there. But for me, DXY looks like it's got some downside potential. So pairs like Pound USD and Euro USD especially, I see these guys as continuing going north. Dollar Swiss, I'm still looking at that one falling. AUSD, even though higher time frames on AU still look pretty bearish, but from a intra-week perspective, I would favor some upside unless the AU has other plans. So yeah, going back to Euro USD, we're at a very key level of resistance. I'm not really seeing much opportunity here unless we get some nice reversals to the downside. Like I said, if the market starts giving us a good reversal, and there might be some nice sells to head back down again, but it's too early doors to see if we're actually going to reverse. Right now, everything is still pretty bullish. Dollar still looks like it's got more downside, so I would be careful. But you don't want to be looking at taking buys now into the resistance if you weren't already in some buys. So yeah, that's the way I see it. Okay, Bitcoin, we'll take a look at Mighty King, no problemo. Emmanuel, pound pairs setting up for pound weakness. Okay, we'll take a look. Let me see, pound pairs. Pound CHF, kind of neutral. Pound yen, bullish. Pound USD, bullish. Pound AUD, bearish. Pound NZD, bullish. Yeah, pound's kind of mixed, to be fair. Pound's kind of mixed. I don't really have a clear-cut bias for pound at the moment. Ghost Trader, what's up? Good morning. Is me ARM 400 today? I didn't go to work, so I am excited to watch you live. I love it when you say that. Yeah, that's kind of me just like thinking out loud, trying to find out where I am on the chat. But yeah, I'm good. Someone likes it. I go through some weird phases where I have like a catchphrase that I keep saying. Like a while ago, I used to keep saying that. What did I say? If that makes sense. I still do that a little bit, to be fair. But I said that religiously for quite a while. Poppy, I kind of have to expect that I'm a bit jumpy on taking profits after all those calls. Yeah, that's something that you learn about yourself, because each trader's experience is going to be unique to their to themselves. Some people are going to be quite greedy with their profits, and they're going to have the exact opposite to you. in terms of they just let their profits run past their target and beyond, which might sound good on paper, but if they don't know when to take their profits, eventually the market is going to reverse against them. So, people have their unique flaws and pros as well. And if you understand your unique flaw, wherever that is, if you're jumpy, if you're taking profits, then you have to pay extra awareness and extra attention to that part of your trading. And trying to get that to a good level, will have great benefits tenfold. And that's only advice that you can take from, actually learning from yourself. Because, people can give you tips and tricks about trading, but stuff like that, knowing that you're jumpy taking profits has an exponential effect on your trading results in the long run. Knowing how to correct it, of course. Game scenario, Miko, would you sell your USD and buy USD at the same time? I would only do that if I've got the first trade to break even. So I wouldn't take Euro USD buy and then sell Euro USD at the same. I wouldn't take Euro USD buy and sell AUD USD at the same time. Because I do have a rule that I can't take the same. I can't take two trades with the same currency. So it doesn't matter if I was buying one and selling the other or doing both. So if I'm buying Euro USD, I need to get that one to break even before I can get involved with AU because it has the same currency. But from a correlation point of view, it doesn't really make too much sense as well. So even if I was looking to sell Euro and buy AU, I'd probably be a little bit hesitant. But if that was a case scenario, I'd take whichever's the better setup. And then if the other setup's still looking at the same time, and I've got the first one to break even, then I'll take the other one as well. No problem. Sculpey TFX, thank you so much for coming onto the stream. Nice message as well. 100%. Keep persistent. Hope to see you next week. Favor, hi UCC Chef. What is your analysis? Okay, we'll take a look. NZJPY will take a look as well. No problemo. Matt2645, hello. If there's any crypto bulls here, I'm looking at 28k for pullback entries. Okay, Bitcoin is flying at the moment. Anyway, let me go take a look at gold, pound yen, and Eurocad. Okay, so what is gold up to these days? Gold was looking pretty bearish, wasn't it? It was falling to the downside. Did see some wicks. Hasn't really amounted to much though. But it does look like gold could be starting to push away from this consolidation. So I've been looking at this level of support for a while. And I said I want price to break through and really start ripping to the downside. We had the initial breakout last week, which failed. Now it looks like we're going through another breakout, which again is still quite choppy. So my analysis is still the same. I want price to really push away, and then I'll be looking for the pullbacks and the retest. This for me is not really a good breakout and retest because we're firing a lot of wicks to the downside, meaning a lot of momentum that we had initially is being lost, and things are a little bit choppy. Not that we can't push down, it's just not a good trade for me to take myself. So I'm waiting for gold to push to the downside a little bit more, and then also looking for the break and retest. These lower highs looks like they've won the battle. Price has been moving sideways, but it looks like the bears are starting to break free. So if they can push away a little bit more, convince me that you are taking control, then I'll be looking for pullbacks, retest, and trying to catch some lower highs to the downside for gold. So the way I see it, there looks like more downside, which is quite funny because I'm still pretty bearish on the DXY. So at the moment we've got DXY heading down and DXY heading down and gold heading down, which doesn't really make sense from a correlation standpoint. But hey, I'm just here to focus on the market I'm trading. If I get a good setup on that market I'm trading, I'm taking that trade. If gold can push to the downside a little bit more, then I'll start looking for my break and retest around 1940, 1935 for some sales back down again. So very, very simple with gold. Just need to see a bit more evidence that the bears are taking control. Before I jump into anything, pound yen will take a look. So pound yen I'm definitely bullish on. Looks like price is okay. It has come into that resistance. We were talking about pound yen buys. I can't remember who. Someone was in the pound yen buy, and we were talking about price coming back into that resistance. It's just gone and hit that level very, very quickly. So yeah, the next kind of stop after that would be the highs here around 182. So pound yen for me, definitely a bullish pair. Looks like it's just double bottom down here, and we could be looking at the next bullish leg back to the highs, and probably some higher highs as well after that. As we discussed, monthly, weekly, daily, 4H, hourly, even lower now, 15-minute, all displaying bullish momentum. So if you're looking at trading pound yen, you're looking at pullbacks, you're looking at buys. Sure, there might be some sells, but you're just going to have a lot more success with buys. So on the lower time frames, there might be some nice pullbacks intraday on some levels like 181 for some continuations. As we can see, we had the low there, higher low, could print another one, next bullish wave to the upside. So keep an eye on some lower time frame pullbacks to 181-200. I would be careful because we do have some news coming out soon for pound. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen with that, but from a technical standpoint, things are looking good to the upside. So I'm looking at 182 as the next destination. If we get some pullbacks before that, I think there's just good opportunities to get involved, take advantage of that momentum. But yeah, 182 is where I see the market heading towards. And pound yen is jumping right now. Just pushed itself there phenomenally. So yeah, it's turning into be a very nice trade. Can't remember who's in it, but congrats on that one. Is pound USD jumping too? No, pound USD starting to pull back a little bit. Wait, is the price moving? I don't know. Market's starting to move. How's dollar Swiss doing? Dollar Swiss still moving weirdly, respecting that support level. Hopefully we can drop a little bit lower and go and hit my TP. But yeah, it's moving choppily. But it has tested my patience. But yeah, I'm not gonna budge. I'm not gonna budge with this one. Anyway, so EuroCAD, I will go take a look at next. And was there another pair? I don't think so. EuroCAD, so yeah, we'll take a Bitcoin as well. Okay, Bitcoin we'll take a look at too. Okay, so Bitcoin, yeah, dollar Swiss. I'll go through dollar Swiss since I'm on it right now. And JPY will take a look as well. No problem, Leo. Happy to help. If you still got time, can you take a look at pound CAD? Of course. I've still got 30 minutes left of the stream, and we'll probably stay a little bit longer as well because we've got the what's it called, the Bank of England interest rate decision. So we're gonna look to see what happens with pound. So yeah, pound CAD, JPY, Bitcoin, dollar Swiss, EuroCAD will take a look at. Poppy, I have to just stick to my plan. If I miss my TP, I miss my TP. That's the spirit, Poppy. That's the spirit. King Tang, USD CAD. I haven't actually looked at USD CAD all stream, so yeah, we'll take a look. Leave a like. Thank you, Poppy. Thank you. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please be sure to drop a like. It really does help out the stream. Subscribe if you haven't done already as well. If you're enjoying the content, finding it useful, please be sure to subscribe as well. I do really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed so far. But yeah, that's the spirit, Poppy. If you miss your TP, you miss your TP. Don't let it affect you. I mean, obviously, way easier said than done. But that's the mentality you need to have. Every time I feel myself, getting a bit emotional, especially with my dollar Swiss position right now, because, price was very close to my TP, but it's pulled all the way back over here against me. That's quite a big pullback from being close to your TP. So, when I do feel myself getting a little bit emotional over position, I always remind myself the long-term goal. Always remind myself of the long-term goal. What is the long-term goal? To be consistent, to, take steady gains from the market. So if this position was to pull back against me, hit my break even, does it stop me from becoming consistent and taking profits from the market? No. So when I start feeling a bit emotional, I always remind myself on the long term goal, because that's what I'm trading for. So yeah, if that might help, but yeah, that's the mentality you need to have. Anyway, so yeah, I'll take a look at dollar Swiss because I'm on it now. Hey, thank you so much, always, Tabish, for subscribing. Really do appreciate it. Lot to learn from Miko, no problem. I really appreciate your efforts for all of us. Thanks a lot, no problem. Happy to help. Glad you are finding the streams useful. Jack Davis, Miko, I'm very interested in seeing your trading setup. Normally 13 pairs 4H analysis on your YouTube stream, as pictures and photos on your Telegram channel and trading view too. Okay, yeah. I mean, my setups, I've already posted them on TradingView for the week. Again, my setups for the remainder of the week are quite small. I'm pretty much just looking at pound USD. I'll keep an eye on gold if it pushes further down. I'll keep an eye on UAD as well. But that's about it, to be fair. That's about it. Because the yen pairs for me have kind of been blown out of proportion, so I'm not looking at the yen pairs at the moment. Dollar yen looked okay coming into the week, but I'm not a fan of it. It's kind of moving sideways, so that rules out all the yen pairs. A lot of the dollar pairs are kind of moved away from me, so I'm not trading them, apart from dollar Swiss, of course. And gold looks like if we can get a sustained breakout with that one, then we might get some good pullbacks with that one. So I'm keeping an eye on gold. Pound USD not too far away as well. And UAD, I do have some good confidence, a little bit higher up, so we'll be looking at some shorts before move back down again. I do like the bearish structure here. Push, pullback, push, pullback. Let's see if we can get the next rollover to the downside. We'll add and publish them on your Telegram channel and TradingView as pictures and photos too. Wait, what? I'm very interested in seeing your trading setups. Normally 13 pairs, 4H analysis on your... Okay, yeah, YouTube streams as pictures and photos on your Telegram channel. Okay, so all 13 pairs. Well, the thing is, I do that on Telegram and TradingView already with 5 setups, but I don't do it for all 13 because most of the time all 13 won't give me good setups. Sometimes out of that 13, maybe 5 are just in some weird market consolidation, which I'm not even looking at trade at all. Maybe the other 4 don't look that good. So I have 5 setups that I publish on TradingView and Telegram, which I look out of all my pairs which look the best. So those are the ones I publish. So I don't think I'll do that with all 13, just because some setups I just won't be looking at, so there's not really much point. I understand the help with it, but I don't think it's worth it. Unless more people want to see it, then maybe. But yeah, not all those pairs of 13 I'll be looking at. You know, I pick and choose on the weekend which one's looking the best. Love to see you winning, Miko. Really love, bro. Much appreciate, and just love this trade in UTC. Jeff, yeah, it's a decent little trade. Appreciate it, Anis. Appreciate it. But yeah, it was a decent little catch. Again, this one was really helped from the news. Because obviously price pretty much tanked as soon as I entered it, and obviously the news helped that out from dollar last week. But yeah, they're not always that pretty. But anyway, we'll go take a look at some pairs. Okay, so it says we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin because a few people have been asking it. So yeah, Bitcoin has been exploding to the upside. And now, has it reached the highs? Yeah, pretty much has, hasn't it? Yep. So yeah, Bitcoin's going to be in an interesting position. It's an interesting position. And I say that because of what the higher time frames are doing. We've got this considerable level here, 30K. And yeah, it's a tricky area, because if we can break through this, we might see a lot more upside. We got some levels slightly higher up, which I'll consider looking at some downside as well. But if you do break through 30K, next kind of area of value 34, 35 up at this broken support here, which we broke through, never got the retest at either. So breaking through this level here could give us another, 5K, 6K on our price. But yeah, we're still at major resistance. So although we're seeing a lot of bullish momentum, I'm not anticipating anything too crazy until I start seeing price breaking through. At the same time, we could easily double top this and start rolling over. So this is definitely the worst time to buy. And a lot of people, FOMO, the average speculator in the market would be looking to buy the market around about now, pretty much. After seeing 2 big bullish days, buy, which is the worst time. Not that price can't go higher, it can do, but it doesn't give you a solid place to back your trade up against. Because if you buy here, where's your risk parameter, where you're getting out of things not going to plan. If you're investing, obviously it doesn't really matter because you're in it for the long run. But from a trade standpoint, buying here, is your stop loss, but is it there below the candle? It doesn't really make too much sense or emotion. But anyway, from a technical standpoint, it's back at resistance. It's back at a higher time frame level on the weekly as well. So I understand people will be looking at some impulse and corrections and impulse back again. Maybe you might see it on the retest of some structure down here, more or less 28,400, 28K. But I would be careful because we still do have that big obstacle in our, right in front of us on the weekly. So if you can see some correction, could give a nice buy. But at the same time, you want to be taking your profits back at the resistance. If we break through, then yeah, like I said, next target 34, 35K. But be careful. Try and don't get invested with that FOMO. Make sure that you're buying on those pullbacks at good areas of value, good areas of confluence, and then take your trades accordingly. But yeah, Bitcoin, I have to say, very impressive run. Very impressive run. We're back at some key resistance. Let's see what happens. Not only from a daily perspective, but from a weekly as well, with that big 30K level. But if you do break through, next stop for me is around 34, 35K. So we'll see what happens with Bitcoin. But yeah, very impressive moves. Is anyone trading Bitcoin at the moment? Or looking to trade Bitcoin? Okay, so we'll go and take a look at EuroCAD. Was there another pair? Euro USD, gold, Bitcoin. So yeah, we'll take a look at EuroCAD. Okay, and NASDAQ as well. Yep, USD CAD and JPY. We'll take a look at two. Let me go do my dollar Swiss analysis because I was supposed to do it, but I completely forgot. Yes, I'm currently in dollar Swiss sells spider. I just did pound yen, so if you go back a few pairs, you will probably see the analysis there. But yeah, my dollar Swiss analysis is essentially looking at price heading back down to this key daily level here. As you can see, you've got a lot of wicks around this level here. A lot of rejection in this area, slight fake of the level, more wicks. So this is where I'm looking at price coming back into. We're not too far away. From a higher time frame perspective, dollar Swiss is still giving us lower lows and lower highs, as we can see. So I'm still looking at a push back down to the prior lows, but we've got a big support level there. So I'm not trying to second guess and expect price to clear the lows, because it definitely is a key support level. But at the same time, if that higher time frame trend is going to continue, then we got a good chance that price is going to clear these lows out here at 0.883. So my analysis is downside for dollar Swiss. In terms of getting involved, I'm not really seeing a good entry here. Prices dropped to the downside. It's now testing some support. You don't really want to be selling into this level here. It's not really a good pullback to sell anyway. I'm not really seeing much here. So I think for dollar Swiss, if you're not already in the trade, it's not really a trade to take in terms of a good trade. Not that you can't profit from it, but is it a good opportunity? Probably not. So I would look at some other dollar pairs to take advantage of. Dollar Swiss coming to some support. We've got some daily support below it. Yeah, now's not the best time to sell it, but I do expect more downside. So that's kind of my analysis for dollar Swiss. If it does pull back higher, there's some areas up here we could. Don't do that. I think the train has left the station with this one. Okay, so we'll go and take a look at pound CAD, euro CAD, and entity JPY. Bitcoin is going to zero. Just kidding. But is it possible Warren Buffett refuses to buy all BTC for $20? Wow, I did not hear that. Did he say that? Refuse to Bitcoin for $20? I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I mean, of course he refused. He's a multi-billionaire. You know, he's pretty safe. But I would 100% do that for $20. No risk and possible trillionaire if things go well. Yeah, I see why. But yeah, possibly could go to zero because the only thing that gives Bitcoin value, intrinsic value, is that it's limited. But at the same time, Bitcoin itself is not real. Even same with money as well. But it used to be real when it was backed with gold, which was actually tangible, and that comes from the earth itself. But obviously now same with currencies as well. Currencies itself is not technically real as well. It's kind of just the faith we have between each other that £10 is worth £10 and $10 is worth $10. So I reckon Bitcoin is real from that standpoint because we give it value, therefore it has value. But technically, it doesn't actually have value. But I don't think it will go to zero. That's my personal opinion. I think we're too deep into it for it to go to zero. But it could do. It's definitely possible. But I don't know. Warren's already a multi-billionaire, so he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to get involved with Bitcoin anyway. Wow. To be fair, it's just $20. Might as well just do it anyway, especially if you're Warren Buffett. But I understand why. Exactly. Gold's got real value. It comes from the earth. It's finite. You have to mine it to get gold. It's not just on the earth like grass. So gold's the only real value at the end of the day. So technically, even currencies can go to zero, like Zimbabwe with their crazy hyperinflation. So possibly could go to zero, but I don't think it will. Anyway, so let me take a look at EuroCAD. So EuroCAD looking weird, to be fair. It's got a slight uptrend to it, but not really convincing. We've had some nice bearish structure for a while, but now the market looks like it's going through a reversal potentially. At least the counter trend play. I wouldn't say reversal just yet. We haven't broken through any significant structure. We can see there's a slight uptrend to it, but overall the market is very, very corrective right now. So EuroCAD, there might be some nice buys in the low time frames here. If I scale down, we've got the highs here on the left. You could look to play between the resistance here and the support. If we can break through that could be a nice buy on maybe the 15-minute time frame. Like we discussed, the market's still printing all of these high lows. Another one there, potentially another one there as well. So if you can snap that resistance, get some good pullbacks at 1.446, you can look for a clean ride back to the highs there, 1.45, nice psychological level as well. But from a 4H perspective, I'm unsure with EuroCAD because we do have these lower lows and lower highs, which could looking for a retest of this level to sell off again, which is not a bad shout. But I don't have much confidence. Up there. So I think intra-week, buys are looking good, possibly back to that 1.452 level. Then maybe there could be some sells going forward, but we have to see how price reacts at that level first. But on the lower time frames, I do like this opportunity. Still seeing a bunch of higher lows, nice little break and retest. You got yourself not a bad little window to trade. 30 pips, not a lot, but on the lower time frames with a decent stop loss, can take advantage of that. But yeah, let me know what you're actually looking for in EuroCAD yourself, because I'm not really seeing too much at the moment. Maybe that higher time frame sell might be looking good, but not there at the moment. So we'll see how price reacts with it. Okay, so we'll take a look at pound CAD as well, since we're looking at pairs correlated. EuroCAD, pound CAD, very, very similar pairs. So yeah, pound CAD's being a bit weird as well right now. It's not really respecting that daily level I've been looking at for a while. It's kind of breaking above it, breaking back below it. So I'm not going to really pay it too much mind right now. Overall, pound CAD is still quite bullish. We can see we're still getting higher highs and higher lows. So I do favor the upside, especially after the break above that resistance there. But since then, the market has climbed back below it. So with pound CAD, looks like we're testing some support here. There's not a lot of confluence here, so I wouldn't deem it to be a good trade. You know, support resistance is good, but you need to apply it with other confluence as well to maximize the probability of it playing out. So yes, it's a nice little level to catch a break and retest. Good momentum on the breakout. I haven't got the retest. This is the first retest of that level. We're finding a lot of wicks there to the downside. So it looks like a good break and retest, but that's about it I've got going for it. If we can see some other confluence here, then I will open my eyes to it. But the way the market is moving as well, coming back into the same resistance, I'm not too sure about pound CAD. It may be looking to go for a reversal, something like this. You know, going through a bit of an inverse head and shoulder possibility. But I'll wait for price to create that right shoulder first, start pushing up, and then try and catch the next pullback after that. Much safer trade. And if that's the case, you know, we've got a long way to go back to the highs as well. So we don't necessarily need to try and anticipate that. Here we can look for the safer trade and still get a decent risk reward later on as well. So yeah, the reversal does look good, but we're a long way away from that developing. Maybe next week potentially we might see those buys form. But at the moment, pound CAD, I wouldn't say there's much to do for my personal trading anyway. I wouldn't say there's much to do. Okay, so we'll go and take a look at entity JPY. So I was going to look at that one. And USD CAD, I was going to take a look at as well. Yeah, entity JPY, USD CAD we'll take a look at next. What's up, 992? Welcome to the stream. Tariq, AUD USD analysis. Okay, we'll take a look. Ghost trade, I sniped entry Bitcoin 26366.75, and I've just hold the trade. There's nothing sitting around the trend. True. That's why I'm a trend trader. You know, I mean, I do want to investigate to also adopt a reversal type strategy as well, just so you know I'm not one dimensional and just following the trend. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think, you know, if you can have two strategies playing back to back, especially like trend following and reversals, which go hand to hand together, you know, one time you're following the trend, and then when it starts reversing, you're taking the sells as well. So I might look to investigate to try and, you know, get a good strategy for reversals as well. But at the moment, yeah, trend trading all the way. And riding it too is definitely a lot of fun. Moch will stay around a bit after the stream, watch the big news together. Of course, Moch we'll take a look at the news about 13 minutes from now, see what happens to the pound pairs. Is anyone trading any pound pairs at the moment? Pound USD, pound JPY. I think someone is trading pound JPY. But yeah, we'll stay after and see what's happening with the news. You staying for the New York session? No, the stream ends at 12 p.m. But I will stay a good extra 5-10 minutes after to see what happens. See what happens for the news. But the streams are normally from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So yeah. Nasdaq. Did I look at the Nasdaq? No, I didn't take a look at the Nasdaq before. I will take a look. VidBook's no problem. Hell, what the hell? Yeah, Moch Anus, could you remove Martin Mema, please? Man's talking about Hell's Satan. That's crazy. Yes, that's crazy. That is a weird one. Anyway, let's take a look at some markets. Okay. So yeah, pound CAD, euro CAD. We'll take a look at NZJPY and AUJPY as well. So, I mean, AUJPY already did that one. NZJPY we'll take a look at, and USD CAD. So, NZJPY, whoa, this one's very, very bullish. Is NZD strong? Or is it just yen very weak right now? Okay, it looks like yen is very weak right now. Yeah, yen is very weak right now. So, yeah, that's the thing with the yen pairs. They've just been flying to the upside. So, the best way to trade them is on the lower time frames with those pullbacks. And definitely not selling as well. But anyway, yeah, price is back at the resistance. So there's not much to do with NZJPY. There's not much to do. You know, we're back at resistance. Prices looks like it's clearing the highs here. This is something that if you're not already in the trade, the train has definitely left the station with this one, unless you're going to scale right down to like maybe the 5 minute time frame and look for some pullbacks on this one. There's some good levels here, or maybe the 15-minute time frame. There's not a bad level here for a break and retest. But the way I see it, we're most likely going to come back to these highs here. And above that, there's not much to do. There's not much to do. We haven't been at these prices for a while. Last time with these prices was 2015, 2016. And it's kind of the same case with other yen pairs like pound yen and euro yen as well. So NZJPY, if you're not already in the trade, there's not much to do with this one. Maybe some low time frame pullbacks onto some levels here, like the 15-minute, 5-minute could look good. But this one's just I understand why. People probably be looking for sells here. People probably be looking for sells. It's way high up. It's at resistance. It's coming back to the highs. But again, it's very, very difficult to time these markets, especially in these conditions and trending conditions, to try and time reversals. You're much better looking at selling highs and buying lows when the market's moving sideways, because the market tends to respect highs and lows. But in trending conditions where highs are getting broken repeatedly, you don't want to be looking to sell. You want to be looking to buy. More often than not. Not that you can't sell at all, but you're just going to have a lot more joy buying. Okay, so no problem much. Pound NZD, Nasdaq we'll take a look at next as well. Okay, Big Bang in pound CAD. Are you buying or selling pound CAD, or was that? Yeah, are you buying or selling pound CAD? Ryan, what is up? Welcome to the stream. I am doing good. How is yourself? I have no idea. Did you see pound USD? I have taken a look at pound USD. It's on the watch list. We're going to take a look at pound USD with the news in a moment as well. So we'll see what happens with that one. NZD CAD, okay, we'll take a look. I'm long GU 1.2713. Wish you luck, of course. I'm pretty bullish on pound USD, so I do see more upside, but we'll see what the news has in store. We might go down before we go up, or we might just keep going down. Anyway, so ourselves going to take a look at what does this say? Nasdaq. Nasdaq pound NZD. I was supposed to look at Nasdaq a long time ago, but that one's not live. There we go. Okay, so Nasdaq seen some downsides. So for Nasdaq, we came into a very big level in the daily time frame here, which looks like it's giving us some nice retracement. So rejection 1, rejection 2, big moves to the downside, and now we've just rejected it again. But it doesn't really change much in terms of direction. Yes, the possibility is we could see a lot of downside, but I want to see some bearish structure developing first. At the moment, we're still seeing higher highs and higher lows, so I can only favor bullish structure right now and buys. So yesterday, I was about to say last week, yesterday I drew this setup here, breaking, we tested the high. This was like a good buy there, back around 14,600. We broke through this level, haven't got the retest, as you can see, really nice breakout, no retest at that level, so it's still a nice fresh level of support. If we can get there, see some good rejections, some good wick rejections. Buys look good, and looking for a push back to highs. Nothing too crazy, anticipating more upside. And then you can take a profit back at that key resistance where we might roll over or we might break through. But we're seeing some downside right now, but I'm just going to be treating this as retracement. We have a very established bullish trend on our hands right now, so I'm not trying to anticipate anything. If we do reverse, I want to see a lot more evidence that we are reversing in terms of lower highs developing, lower lows, maybe break of structure, before I anticipate any type of reversal. So right now I'm treating that as retracement for the market to go higher. So 14,600 is where I'm looking at buys for push, back to the high here, which is trading at around 15,200. So more upside for NAS and coming to a decent level as well. Okay, so we'll take a look at pound CAD and pound NZD CAD as well. Yeah, news in 8 minutes. Yeah, well, 6 minutes now for me. Yeah, I'll get the. Let me go through a couple pairs, and I'll get the pound pairs up. Okay, so pound NZD, pound CAD. Funny enough, pound pairs, pound CAD. So yeah, pound CAD. Oh, pound's starting to get excited, are we? Pushing up there. What's pound USD doing? Not really pushing up. Is CAD weak? I don't know. We don't have time for that. Anyway, so I did say pound CAD's at a nice support level. I said that we could be going through maybe an inverse head and shoulder here. It's a bit of a reach, but it does make sense. And I do like the buys if we can start forming this bullish leg and wait for the next retracement after that. This would be a very nice high probability buy. And we got some good targets, healthy targets all the way up there. So pound CAD could be coming to action. There could be some buys down here. I'm not the biggest fan of it because there's not a lot of confluence apart from a good level. So it's not a bad level. We've seen some good rejection with the wicks. So I do favor an up move, but in terms of probability, that fits my plan and the way I look to trade. It's not quite there. So if we can push to the upside, clear the highs, pull back, that definitely be a trade that I would look to take and look for more upside in the break and retest. So pound CAD for me, it looks like we could be going through a bullish reversal here back to 1.71, but it's still a little bit premature. We'll see what happens with the pound news as well. And pound NZD, last time I looked at this one, it was kind of moving sideways. Haven't looked at this one all week. Yeah, sort of is. It looks like it came back into highs here. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Doesn't really know what to do. Had a really nice rejection off this support level, and then it's respecting that resistance here. So it's kind of moving sideways. Long term, I'm still pretty bullish for pound NZD. I'm still looking for push back to 2.09313. And that is where I'm expecting price to head towards. So we might clear the high there, successful break and retest, and then look for the continuations. Either which way, I'm expecting more upside for pound NZD, but I'm not seeing a good opportunity to buy it right now. I know it's coming to some areas here, but I wouldn't buy that. It's within the range. Break and retest, they work well, but if the market's going to move sideways, break and retest, the win rate of them do go down considerably. So yeah, if you can clear the highs, 2.075, that becomes a nice little tidy trade there, back to 2.09. But yeah, in this for me is a bit of a no man's land. Sideways price action, not a fan of that. But overall, high time frames are looking bullish, so I think we can probably get ourselves to 2.09, but need to be patient for that breakout. Anyway, we've got a couple minutes left before the news comes up, so let's do the old split screen. See, this was probably, pound Swiss, another pound pair, because this is what happened last time when I was looking at the pound pairs. But okay, let's get pound USD over there on the left, and we get pound yen. Let me move the drawings. So yeah, rates are expected to be increased. So should be seeing strength in the pound if all goes smoothly. But let me drop to the 15. But it's never always that simple. So yeah, a couple people trading pound pairs. Good luck to you guys. Best of luck. Pound CAD, you bought at 1.678. So is that roughly where price was trading there? I mean, again, it's a good level. It's a good level. So I do like the support resistance level. But yeah, we'll see what the news has in store. I do like the buys later on from pound CAD. Right now, it's a little bit too aggressive for me. But again, we've got different styles. Just because I don't like the trade doesn't mean it's a bad trade. Yes, Poppy, much appreciated. If you guys are joining the stream, please be sure to drop a like. It really does help out the stream, and subscribe if you haven't done it already. I like your analysis. Hey, thank you, 992. Appreciate it. Just adjust your stop. You can adjust to market conditions. Yeah, you can, but if the market's moving sideways, if I've got a trend following strategy, it doesn't make much sense to trade a market that's moving sideways. It's not about necessarily moving your stop loss wider. If the market's moving sideways, there's no trend to take advantage of. So yeah, moving your stop loss, changing to different lengths does help. But if the market condition is sideways and you've got a trend following strategy, it doesn't make any sense to trade it in those conditions, and vice versa as well. Well, yeah, the news is about to happen in a few moments. Oh my word, that was a big push. That was a big push. We don't normally see such big push. Like last time, we didn't really see this. It did move a lot, but not to this extent. But yeah, that was a good push there. I think some people are in some buys on pound USD and pound yen, or pound yen at least. So that move should be welcomed. But yeah, we need to see how price develops, because both times both times I've done Bank of England interest rate on stream, both times I think they started off bullish, and then by the end of the hour candle, so by 1 p.m. In an hour's time from now, the hourly candle closed bearish. So it's very, very important you wait for the hourly candle, even 4H candle, to close before you make any final judgments with your trading decisions. Because 50 minutes, you could see a bullish 50-minute candle, which could create a big wick or a good close, and the next one could come straight back down again. So I like at least giving an hour after the news has happened before I cement anything in terms of direction and analysis. But yeah, pound USD, pound yen looking bearish. I mean bullish, definitely not bearish, looking bullish. Pound CAD pushing up. Big bang, you should be welcoming that. Very, very nice there. Euro pound pushing to the downside as well. Pound CHF pushing up. So yeah, of course, all pound pairs behaving the same way. Pound AD, there's a nasty spike there to the upside. Pound NZD, we were just looking at it. Big nasty spike as well. But as you can see, the market is pulling back considerably. And I know a lot of people will probably be looking to buy that spike as well, which is just not a good decision at all. Let's put it back on pound yen. So yeah, that's a big, big wick. But the thing is, the market could still look to fill that wick. It could still look to fill that wick, or it could drop. It could drop considerably as well. It's still 50-50 at this moment in time. But yeah, I mean, I don't really do this in my personal trading, trading on the higher time frames, especially when I'm not in a pound pair. I'm not looking at the news, but I understand it does excite some people on the low time frames, and rightly so. That was a big push. How does it look on the hourly though? Okay, still pretty big move on the hourly too. Big wick there to the upside, back into the high. Price is respecting that, so rightly so. How's pound yen looking? With the push into, pound yen created new highs. That probably triggered a lot of TPs then. And stop losses. Anyone selling probably had stop losses above here. Anyone buying probably had some TPs around here. So that move there probably paid a lot of people and took money from a lot of people too. But anyway, pound yen hasn't really done anything too crazy at the moment. The market is still very, very bullish on multiple time frames. So if the market's heading higher, that's kind of what we're expecting it to do right now. But yeah, big push. We'll see how these candles close, because that's the important thing. These could be looking very, very bearish in an hour's time, so it could look different. TP on pound entity, nice trend trades. I'm out, call 59 pips, nice. 992. Break even on pound CAD. Is that a buy position or a sell position? Wow, yeah, I know Mary is a big push. They raised, yeah, as expected. Higher than expected. Oh, okay. Let me check. Yes, they did higher expected. Okay, so that should be very bullish for the pound. Because not only did they raise it, it was higher than expected. So, yeah, we could see that wick getting filled and price continuing up. Although, don't take my word for it. Anything can happen. Only trade when you've got a good opportunity to take the trade. And we do have some dollar news at 3 as well. I forgot about that. We got some dollar news at 3 too, which is 2 hours from now. I mean, no, 3 hours from now. Well, actually, no, we do have news at 1:32 and then 3 p.m. So a lot of news today, actually. So yeah, if you are trading today, make sure you do stay safe in terms of your risk management, I mean. But yeah, we're gonna see how these candles close. Again, I'm not buying into the move just yet. I mean, it does fit the bill from a fundamental perspective, expecting pound to be bullish, but from a technical perspective, I want to see some successful candle closes before I start pricing this in properly into my analysis. But in terms of both directions for both these pairs, pound yen and pound USD, I'm very bullish on both of them. So yeah, I'm expecting naturally more upside. But yeah, guys, that does bring us to the end of the stream. I hope you have found it useful and informative. I'll let you guys know if I do get into any other positions, and if I do manage my dollar Swiss trade in any way, I'll let you guys know. Thank you so much for coming into the stream. If you have enjoyed it, please be sure to drop a like. It really does help out the channel, and subscribe as well. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Trends. Thank you, Trends. Trends Trades. Appreciate it. No problem much. No problem. Thank you, Anus. Thank you, Anus. If you get to that zone that I mentioned, maybe we'll take the trade. We'll see the US session. Yeah, there will be some dollar news as well. So, it'll be interesting because pound's quite strong, but I don't know what dollar could do. We'll wait and see. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming onto the stream. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done already, like and subscribe and hit the bell as well so you don't miss out any streams in the future. I will be live again with Trader Nick after... I'll be later with him later today around 1:30 p.m. London time. So I'll drop the link into my Telegram. So if you're not in the Telegram, check it out. Link in the description there. I'll post a link to the stream there. So if you want to join, feel free to join there as well. If you want to see some more analysis. If you haven't done already, check out my broker that I'm using, IC Markets. I do have an affiliate link there if you want to use it. But if you are looking for a broker, feel free to check them out. And yeah, guys, that brings us to the end of the stream. Have a fantastic day. Be careful. We do still have more news today. The news isn't finished. But yeah, have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for coming onto the stream. Thank you to my moderators. And I'll catch you all in the next one.